and the rest. Customs, I think I'm impressed with recent reports and even in Think and Hear that they have started working even weekends, but not 24 hours. I don't know if they have started working 24 hours. You're almost there. Please be quick and get there. Very important. It's very important because smart ports requires 24 hours operation. Logistics is time bound. It's also cost bound. Any delay in logistics translates to cost.
He said the money that if you are not too familiar with the port, look at what he's meant to say. What I just said, yes. So the question back to the important smart port. If the issue of consistent source of energy, not the one we see today, where the operators are acquiring themselves, the cost of doing business in the port, or cost of driving cargo out of the port will be high. Then talk about the costs. If some of the operators, shipping lines are depending on chemicals and they don't have a backbone, the aspect of system breakdown to the company. That's why custom are making every effort to abandon way for them or take someone, use the backbone to support what they're doing. If not, they have a problem.
Because we have to address ourselves. If we put these things in place, and we have been putting various policies and systems in place for so long, but in the end, we as operators, as players within the system must ask ourselves, what role are we playing to ensure that this works? That's all. The last thing I want to mention is that I've sat in this conversation and I want to appeal to Mr. Ismail Anim. I think that there are two parties that should be here that are not here. The telecoms operators should be here. If you're talking about the blue economy must go beyond just maritime thinking. Because you're discussing smart ports, smart systems. All of those things must ride on the backbone. I'll give you an instance. 3 or 4 days ago, we just finished at the School of Eloquence a Guinness World Record attempt for the longest public speaking marathon. What is the problem we are facing? We're using all kinds of internet infrastructure to send videos, and 3 days after, we're still struggling. We're still struggling. Now, that is just an institution that is, we can call it a soft institution. How much more in the port ecosystem? They should be here to listen and understand their role in it. And that's why some of most of our maritime events must open up a little bit more to enable outsiders or other fields to come inside.
Because some of the tools which have been provided by WCO, Nigeria Customs Service itself has it's about 90% automated already. If you remember what it was with Asikuda plus 96 and now Product. Remember when the speaker asked me if we are running a 24 hours operations, I said almost. I said not yet, but of course the system has evolved tremendously.
Yeah, for us, we have been in Amato. We sat down some 2-3 years ago already. You know, it's very difficult, easy to destroy, very difficult to build. We sat down and looked at, from our various engagements with agencies, government, MPA, NSC, even the CRFF. So we peered into the future and saw that things cannot continue to go like this for our members. If we do not embrace smart personnel, smart association. So by that, what we have been doing or trying to do. For instance, we identified, certain projects that will help us get on track to be able to fit into the, smart, ports, and not just smart port, like the Grindland, it's supposed to be a smart maritime ecosystem. Because even, at the level of the dry port, if you do not also, plan for a smart system, then you are going to have the kind of congestion that you have in the port now, around that place. I think the MD of Nigeria Railway, acknowledged that fact. I think some 2 weeks ago at the MPCC, meeting we had, that go to a Vitamin Terminal, you will see, it's been a redeployment of the part of the congestion here, to that place, because there's no smart preparation, in calling up trucks into that railway.
As part of Journal NG's contribution to the